You get up for 1 minute, and your dog takes your spot. Not a random spot, your spot. The couch cushion you just left, the warm place in bed, the chair you sit in every day. A lot of owners see that and instantly go to one of two extremes. Either, my dog is trying to claim my place, or this must mean my dog is deeply obsessed with me. But in many homes, the calmer answer is usually much simpler. This behavior often looks less like control and more like comfort seeking in a human-linked resting zone. In other words, your dog may be choosing the place that feels most familiar, most settled, and easiest to relax in because it is connected to you. And once you see that, the behavior starts to make a lot more sense. In this video, we're going to break down why dogs do this, what owners often get wrong, and what to watch next time so you can read the pattern more clearly instead of overloading one moment with too much meaning. Hidden dog signals. Understand your dog better. This is one of those behaviors that stands out because it feels so specific. You stand up from the couch to grab a drink, and when you come back, your dog is already curled into the exact place you were sitting. You get out of bed in the morning, and within seconds, your dog is moved into the warm dip you just left behind. You leave your desk chair for a minute, and your dog climbs into it like that was the plan the whole time. And because the choice looks so precise, owners naturally assume it must carry a precise message too. That reaction is completely understandable. Your dog is not just lying down somewhere in the room. They are choosing the place that still holds your body heat, your scent, and the physical shape of where you were just resting. So of course it feels meaningful. But before you decide what it means, it helps to ask a better question. Not, why is my dog stealing my spot? But, what does that spot offer my dog in that moment? That question gives you a much better read on what may really be happening. The most common misread is that this is some kind of territory move. Owners see their dog slide into that space and think, my dog is trying to take over, or my dog thinks this belongs to them now. Another misread goes in the opposite direction. People see the same behavior and decide it must be a huge emotional statement. Proof of devotion, proof of cleanliness, proof that the dog cannot stand being apart from them for even a minute. And honestly, both reactions make sense. The behavior looks loaded. It looks intentional. It looks like it must be saying something important. Here is the gentle correction. The issue is not that you noticed it. The issue is that one moment may not carry the whole meaning. A dog lying in your spot is still just the observable behavior. The meaning comes from the pattern around it. That is what keeps you from turning one ordinary resting choice into a story about dominance, or turning it into a dramatic love letter either. Because sometimes the most accurate answer is not the most emotional one. Sometimes your dog is simply choosing the place that feels easiest to settle in. A calmer way to read this is that your dog may be seeking comfort in a place that is strongly linked to you. That is the main idea, not dominance, not a grand symbolic message. Comfort seeking in a human-linked resting zone. Your spot often has several things going for it at once. It may still be warm. It carries your scent. It is probably soft, and it is usually part of a familiar routine. It is where rest happens. It is where you settle. It is where the room often feels calmest. So when your dog moves into that space, they may not be trying to take something from you. They may be moving toward a place that already feels safe to rest in. This is the part that changes how you respond. Because once you stop reading the behavior as a challenge, you can start reading it as a choice. A comfort choice, a familiarity choice, a resting choice in a place that has become socially meaningful because you use it all the time. That does not mean every dog is doing it for exactly the same reason. But in many homes, the simplest interpretation is also the strongest one. Your dog may be settling where your presence still feels close, but that is not the whole story. Because the timing can change the meaning. If your dog does this when you leave a warm bed early in the morning, warmth may be a big part of why that spot is so attractive. If your dog does it on the couch every evening when everyone settles down, the behavior may be tied more to routine and familiarity. If your dog climbs into your office chair the second you stand up during the workday, That may be less about sleep and more about staying inside your activity pattern. And this is where owners often read the moment too fast. The same behavior can look different depending on the dog's state. If your dog circles once, lies down, softens through the body, sighs, and falls asleep, that leans more towards simple comfort seeking. If your dog takes your spot but stays upright, keeps scanning the room, watches every move you make, and gets up again the second you leave, then the behavior may be less about resting and more about tracking you. Same spot, different state, different read. What happens next may matter more than the behavior itself. So before you give this behavior one fixed meaning, look at where it happens most, when it happens most, and what your dog's body looks like once they get there. The timing matters, the location matters, and your dog's state matters. The next time your dog takes your place, watch the sequence in 3 parts. First, what happened right before it? Did you just stand up for a second? Did you leave the room? Did the house get quieter? Did the room get busier? Did bedtime just start? Did something mildly stressful happen? Then watch how your dog moves into the spot. Do they sniff it first? Do they circle once and settle? Do they drop into the spot immediately, like they already know what they want? Do they curl tightly, stretch out, or stay half upright and alert? Then watch what happens after. Do they actually rest there? Do their eyes soften? Do they stay put even when nothing else is happening? Or do they use the spot briefly and then get up to follow your movement again? This is the observation lens that helps the most. Not just, my dog took my spot, but, was my dog using that spot to rest, to regulate, or to stay connected to my pattern? That is a much more useful question. Also pay attention to whether your dog chooses your place over another good resting option. If the dog bed is comfortable and nearby, but your dog still prefers the couch cushion you just left, that suggests the human-linked part of the space may matter. Not as a dramatic statement, just as part of why that spot works so well for your dog. The behavior is small. The pattern is the signal. So what is the better response when your dog does this? Usually, it is not to correct the behavior like your dog is being rude. And it is also not to instantly reward it like you just witnessed a deep emotional confession. The better response is calmer than both of those. Notice it. Read the context. Let the behavior tell you what kind of need may be getting met there. If your dog truly seems to rest better in places connected to you, then it may help to make their own resting areas feel a little more socially connected too. A bed near the couch, a blanket in your usual room, a comfortable place that is not isolated from where life happens. If your dog seems more activated than restful, then the goal is not to punish them for choosing your seat. The goal is to notice that they may have a harder time settling when your movement keeps changing. That is a different response. Because the real question is not, how do I stop my dog from taking my place? The real question is, what is my dog finding there that helps them settle? Sometimes it is warmth. Sometimes it is familiarity. Sometimes it is the simple comfort of resting where your presence still lingers. And when you read it that way, your response gets better automatically. Less reaction, more observation, more accuracy. So why does your dog sleep in your spot? In many cases, because that spot has become a comfort-linked resting zone connected to you. It is warm, it smells familiar, it is part of a known routine. And for some dogs, it may feel easier to settle there than in a place that feels less connected. That does not mean the behavior always means the same thing, and it does not mean you need to turn it into something alarming or overly sentimental. It just means your dog may be choosing the place that feels easiest to rest in because it carries signs of comfort your dog already knows. That is the calmer interpretation. So the next time it happens, do not rush to label it. Watch where it happens. Watch when it happens. And most of all, watch what your dog's body does once they get there. Because what looks like seat stealing may really be a simple comfort choice in a place your dog has learned to associate with you. And that is often a much better read. If your dog does this at home, notice whether it happens more on the couch, the bed, or your favorite chair. That one detail may tell you more than the behavior alone.
Hidden dog signals. Understand your dog better.